Well, welcome back to Marketing Mondays Mastery. This is week 2, and we are going to be looking at utilizing last-minute romantic getaways to help boost your business. So last week we discussed winter-themed tourism and how to keep things rolling throughout the slower season. And this week we turn our attention to romantic getaways, specifically how to tap into those last-minute getaways, like we said, to help boost your business. So just as a reminder, we are your hosts, myself, PJ Werchansky. I work with Uplift in public relations and part of the marketing team, and then also Kara Treadway, who is another member of our marketing team and public relations. All right, so let's look at today's blueprint. First things first, target audiences. This is a foundational element, and I know we review this in most of our webinars, but it's so important. And although this one may sound obvious, we're going to dive deeper into who our target audiences are for last-minute getaways, and it just might include more than you think. And then next, we'll get into motivations for spontaneous travel. So why do our audiences crave that spontaneity? Or is it just that we're all so busy that we find ourselves planning last minute more than we used to? Then we'll look at the significance of rural destinations in romantic travel, as well as those unique offerings. Spending meaningful time with significant others is really the basis for romantic travel, but where else can you experience the scenic landscapes, the charming romantic places to stay, that escape from the crowds, and also just fun places to engage in those adventures or relaxing activities that help create memories. And then we'll look at engagement strategies. So those emotional connections, the power of storytelling. Those are just a couple of the strategies we'll cover when we look at how to engage the audiences. And then we'll look at some promotional ideas. Marketing Mondays Mastery is all about how to communicate with your audience to move them to action ethically. And then we'll briefly cover some of the most effective channels for highlighting your romantic offerings to your segments. Then we'll look at enhancing the guest experience. We'll talk about how we wow them and make them want to come back. So to encourage your audiences to share their experiences and become advocates for your business. And then with all of our Marketing Mondays Mastery this year, we're going to include some great examples or case studies to help you brainstorm what you can do for your business. And then we'll review the highlights, make sure that you're ready to go. And let's get started. All right, so target audiences. The first one we're going to look at is the profile of young professionals. So young professionals are often career focused, very busy. They have demanding schedules, networking events, social commitments. A lot of them are in their 20s or 30s, 40s, living in urban and suburban areas. They enjoy keeping up with trends, whether it's fashion or technology or travel, and they value that work-life balance, but they often struggle to achieve it. So making spontaneous, low-maintenance escapes, that's really an appealing option for them. And so what do they look for in destinations? Well, they look for unique, authentic experiences. So think cozy cabins, charming countryside inns, boutique bed and breakfasts, all of that away from the hustle and bustle. So activities like stargazing and wine tasting and scenic hikes, all of that resonates with their appreciation for those off the beaten path adventures. But convenience is key. They prefer either all-inclusive bundles or packages, personalized itineraries, anything that eliminates the stress of planning. And then bonus points for locations that are within a couple of hours, especially if it's like close to Raleigh or Charlotte or even Asheville. And social media, of course, plays a huge role in their decision-making. They value those destinations that provide that Instagrammable or shareable moments to be able to share that with their friends. And by emphasizing the ease of access, those tailored experiences, and the opportunity to slow down and connect, segment like the young audience, the young professionals can be effectively engaged with desiring that last-minute romantic getaway. And then some motivation. Well, they want to disconnect. They crave those meaningful experiences and appeal to the flexibility with those getaways. So that really appeals to those last-minute spontaneity. All right, so let's look at couples seeking quick escape. So that lifestyle Also very busy. It's couples who juggle work, family, social responsibilities. They may be in various life stages. It could be early on, or it could be through, the latter half of their career. They might be in long-term partnerships, marriage, or even dating. And their everyday lives can feel routine, maybe even high pressure. So leaving them craving opportunity, they have those cravings to reconnect without the distractions of daily life. They might live in urban or suburban areas, and they frequently look for ways to escape the crowds, the noise, and fast pace of their environments. That's me too, for sure. I definitely am always looking for the escape from the crowds. All right, so some of their interests. These couples are drawn to the destinations that promise tranquility and intimacy. Think about secluded cottages, charming farm stays, rustic lodges. They appreciate amenities like hot tubs, candlelight dinners, cozy fireplaces, anything that sets the stage for romance. Could be activities like scenic walks, couples massages, maybe a wine and cheese tasting. And convenience is also a priority. They want to look for accommodations and experiences that are ready to go, minimal planning, also close, within a couple of hours. And maybe there's some optional extras like flowers or champagne or spa treatments. Some motivations for couples seeking quick escapes. They are driven by a shared desire to nurture the relationship, maybe rekindle the romance, especially if, they've had kids, and between the busy lifestyles of that, it's anything to break free from that monotonous routine. They also seek out experiences that help them feel closer, offering a change of scenery, quality time together. So that idea of a last minute rural getaway is particularly appealing because it eliminates the need for extensive planning and makes it easier to act on that spur of the moment. All right, and then our third group we're going to look at is retirees. They are focused on leisure, personal fulfillment, maybe a slower pace, things that nurture their health and also focus on comfort. Could be empty nesters. They might live in suburban or rural areas, and they often prioritize reconnecting with their partner and exploring activities that evoke that nostalgic, that sense of novelty. Some of their preferences might include a combination of relaxation and enrichment, cozy bed and breakfasts, think historic inns, countryside retreats, that touch of nostalgia, especially if there's something maybe they experienced a long time ago and they're coming back for the first time in a while or something similar. It's very ideal for this audience. I think rolling hills, serene lakes, vibrant gardens, anywhere they can indulge in a nice balance of relaxation and light activities. And then comfort and convenience are crucial. Retirees appreciate well-organized travel options, clear details, facilities that support their ease of use, ease of getting to. Maybe there's room service or some amenities. Packages are always good that include meals or even some additional romantic touches. Maybe it's wine tastings or flowers or chocolates, something like that. Anything that provides a stress-free adventure. Some of their motivations, this group values opportunities to unwind and enjoy life at a gentler pace. Romantic getaways hold that special appeal as a chance to relive those cherished memories, but also create some new ones. And they're motivated by the allure of simplicity and charm, but they also like the spontaneity, and so something that really appeals to them will allow you to bring in this group as well. All right, well, let's look at the significance of rural destinations. So first, scenic landscapes. That sets the perfect romantic backdrop. There are so many diverse landscapes in North Carolina, especially those rural areas that all of us love so much, and a lot of our communities, our uplift communities, are in. That provides that unmatched romantic ambiance, from the rolling hills to the lakeside retreats. Those natural settings really are made for those intimate moments. Imagine a sunset picnic, maybe a walk through the forest, or even stargazing. Anything where you've got wide open spaces, a great place to, go for a hike and also unroll a blanket and maybe have a bottle of wine or just something that's kind of fun outside. Next, charming accommodations. So rural areas boast delightful accommodations that exude that charm and intimacy. So it could be cozy cabins, historic inns, maybe rustic tree houses. These stays often feature romantic perks like fire pits, private porches, beautiful views, maybe those clawfoot bathtubs that just really encourages that connection, that relaxation. And then smaller scale accommodations. That means usually more personalized attention, great guest experiences, and helps the couples to feel special and cared for. All right, so intimate activities that could be, low key activities that encourage couples to reconnect. Could be wine tastings, could be hiking, maybe going to a waterfall, a horse-drawn carriage, something like that could be fun. Or maybe it's hands-on workshops like pottery making, cooking, or visiting local farms. And then if they're maybe a little more adventurous, could be kayaking, it could be zip lining, or maybe a bit more of a all-day activity. Next is rural destinations are typically less crowded. That provides a bit more of a stress-free atmosphere. So unlike the bustling urban areas, rural North Carolina is quiet, it's busy, helps couples to really feel like they've truly escaped. That also means uninterrupted moments together. So, whether it's a private dinner or maybe just a stroll through town, it's a great place to be able to unwind without feeling like you've got a lot of people around. And then that spontaneous magic. With many romantic rural spots just a short drive away, last minute trips become really easy, and rural North Carolina's accessibility ensures that couples can make that spur of the moment trip without the hassle of being in the car for a long time or even extensive planning. All right, engagement strategies. So, first you want to make that emotional connection, appeal to feelings of love, relaxation, being thankful for one another, sharing memories, and maybe even some adventure. We always encourage using vivid imagery, that love language to really evoke those feelings from your audiences. Keep it simple, and this is just my suggestion, but don't make it too mushy. I think that simple and straightforward is the best way to go. And then use the power of storytelling, especially if you've got some user-generated stories, especially if it's relatable, beautiful imagery, keep the stories in check. So for example, as a husband, I know that I want something that appeals to my significant other that's not over the top, but something that I know she'll enjoy. So, but of course, only you know your destination and your business and how it might relate to offering those last minute getaways. Keep it actionable. Focus on allowing your audience to make a quick decision, make it easy, and then be mindful of the price point as it relates to your audience, even if it's seasonal. If it's a quieter time, either add that value added or, have those rates be appropriate for the off season. Be creative. Have you ever been out to eat way on a trip and it seems like everyone else is also on vacation or has the same week off? As I said before, I try to avoid crowds, but that's why, I love going to rural areas. Maybe if you're booked up for Valentine's Day or somewhere around that time, maybe be creative and offer a belated celebration getaway. Focus on late February or early March and include some great value added items to make up for maybe if somebody planned a little late, or offer a private experience for couples when things aren't so busy. And it might just become their next best tradition. All right, promotional ideas, social media campaigns, especially if you're looking at young professionals. So which social platforms reach your desired audiences? You might think about Instagram stories. That poses maybe a question about romantic getaways in your town, or if Facebook is the preferred platform, you could share a romantic video or create a poll, or you could always just make a top 5 list as to why being spontaneous is good for relationships, or how to pack in 10 minutes or less for a fun romantic getaway. You could also partner with an influencer or creator to highlight your destination as a top spot for last minute romantic getaways. Just a creative aspect, a creative lens to look through that might get some attention. There's always email marketing, making it as personalized as you can with some special offers. You could craft something for each segment that evokes emotion and romantic feelings. You might include a special offer, or even if you book, you get flowers or chocolates or a North Carolina made gift upon check-in. And then always collaborating with local partners. That can be really good too. Maybe it's dinner from a local restaurant that can be delivered to your bed and breakfast, or maybe there's a local vineyard that can offer a special wine and cheese event, or you can get a discount on buying a number of their bottles of wine, and that's present to the couple when they check in. And then there's also, on your website, you can include like a pop-up for a couple of days if it's like a special flash sale. There's always digital marketing opportunities. All right, so now that we've talked a little bit about our segments and how to target them, let's look at enhancing the guest experience. So now that they've booked and you want to make sure when they arrive that they're just wowed, so they want to come back. Well, think about handwritten notes, personalized services. If you write notes to welcome them, maybe you can offer some complimentary welcome packages like local treats or flour. I mean, I went to Chick-fil-A the other day with my daughter, and they even have flowers on the table. So just something simple. It could be white flowers or a bottle of wine or some fruit, or maybe even unexpected room upgrade. Be something that enhances the experience. And then stepping up the ambiance for a romantic appeal. You could turn the lights down maybe after a certain time, or play some soothing music, or maybe light candles. You could also think about adding adults only spaces. If your audiences cross over and you have adults, but also families, maybe there's a fire pit outside that's just for adults, or a designated area or floor. When I was at Chitola Resort, we had our Bob Timberlake bed and breakfast, and that was always adults only. So even though we catered to families, we had one area of the resort that was just for adults. And then some additional enhancement ideas might include private tours, meet the chef, meet the winemaker, in-room couples massages, breakfast in bed. Make it simple, but make it meaningful. All right, so here's one idea that I came across that I thought was pretty cool. So this is directly from the Yadkin Valley. Plan your romantic getaway to wineries in the Yadkin Valley. This is in Rhonda, North Carolina, and it stands out because it's a pre-packaged 3-day itinerary on what to do, where to stay, activities, dining, tours, and there's beautiful imagery. And it's just a really great example of how to put something together that gets people to notice. Another opportunity or another great example here is Juneberry Ridge, which is in one of our Uplift communities. It's in Norwood, North Carolina. It's a little over an hour east of Charlotte. And so this one is your guide to a 3-day regenerative farm stay. And it stands out because, again, they include an itinerary. It focuses on something we all need, which is rest and relaxation, and also that farm stay-esque themed romantic getaway. There's also additional ideas that might include niche themes, like maybe staying where a show is filmed, maybe it's culinary classes, or places that are even dog friendly. It could be a romantic getaway that also allows couples to bring their furry pets along. So make it fun. All right. So we're just about finished here. We're going to wrap things up, but let's first go through our key takeaways. So first, identify and expand your target audiences for last-minute romantic getaways. Think beyond the obvious couples market. I even saw something recently where it's like a pet owner and their pet for a getaway. It's obviously not romantic, but it's something where it's just the two of them to get away. And I thought that was kind of a creative way to maybe allow people who don't necessarily need the romantic side, but it's still like a fun getaway. Understand the motivations for spontaneous travel, from the allure of adventure to practical demands of those busy lifestyles. And then highlight the unique appeal of rural destinations for romantic escapes, such as scenic landscapes, cozy accommodations, tranquil atmospheres. Of course, leverage North Carolina's diverse natural offerings, so many beautiful places in this great state, mountains, waterways, open spaces. Use emotional storytelling to connect with your audiences, help to build a stronger engagement for those romantic getaways, and then explore effective promotional channels and strategies that help inspire action and attract those last-minute travelers. And then elevate the guest experience, even if it's something simple that allows to create those memorable moments, encourages repeat visits, and also fosters that word-of-mouth advocacy. And then finally, learn from those real-world case studies or examples to inspire something that you can do, those fresh ideas, those actionable strategies for your romantic travel offerings. All right, so now I'm going to turn it over to Kara who's going to talk to you a little bit about next week and what we have going on for Marketing Mondays. Master.
Perfect. Thanks, PJ. That was great information. It makes me want to start planning my own getaway in North Carolina for Valentine's Day. But I'll definitely be keeping an eye out for those key details that you shared with us as I choose a location. So thank you again, everyone, for joining us. We would love for you to use this QR code to sign up next week, February 10th at 4 p.m. We will be going over content creation made easy. So we're going to cover the top 10 Canva tips for your tourism marketing. There's going to be some great information and some great master tips for you as well for using Canva. And then be sure to follow us for updates and more resources. You can follow us on Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube at Uplift NC, or check out our website as well, uplifttourism.com. Thank you all again, and we will see you next week.
Bye, y'all.